Hello everyone, this is Dina Dalloul. I hope you're all well. I'll be with you in this course, Phonetics and Phonology. Just a quick introduction about me. I finished my Master's in Multilingualism, Linguistics and Education at Goldsmiths, University of London, and my BA in English Language and Literature at Al-Azhar University. I hope you're all excited for the new semester, and I also hope that you enjoy this course with me. I wish that we didn't have to start the course like this and that I had the chance to meet every one of you. But there is nothing we can do about it. And this is the best solution for the time being. Let's just hope that we go back to normal life and normal lectures soon. Okay, now let's start talking about the course. Now, first, as for the material, it's available at Al Isra University Bookshop. You can buy it there, and it's called Basics of Phonetics and Phonology by Dr. Khader Tawfiq Khader. It's a great book for university students like you, and it's written in easy, simple English, so it's easy to study and to learn from. It also covers the main topics in phonetics and phonology, as we'll see later during the course. And it is also illustrated with diagrams, charts, figures, and examples, and this will make it easier for you to understand anything that you read in this book. The book also comes with some exercises that help you analyze what you learn and think about it. Now, talking about the description and goals of the course. Well, this course introduces you to the study of articulatory phonetics. Through this course, you will learn the technical terms that you will need to describe speech sounds. This course will also teach you the basic rules of phonetic descriptions and also the symbols that we use to transcribe English sounds. You will also learn the articulation mechanism of English vowels, and you will learn some features associated with these vowels, including pitch, stress, intonation, whether on word levels or on sentence levels. Through this course, you will also be able to differentiate different English sounds and also identify and pick up some common pronunciation problems. Now, talking about the e-learning tools or online learning tools that we're going to use through this semester, first we have Zoom lectures. So we're going to have one Zoom lecture every week, and this is going to be on Sundays at 12 p.m. And the second thing we have is recorded lectures, and you're going to get 2 recorded lectures just like this one every week. So this is your first recorded lectures for this week. And also we have the university's e-learning platform, which is the Moodle, and there you can find lots of other things like the book description, the homework, or anything else related to the course. So now let's talk about assessment, or how you're going to be evaluated for this course. So we'll have 50% of your grade going for term activities, and these term activities include homework, worksheets, quizzes, participation in Zoom classes, and midterm exam. Now the other 50% will be on your online final exam. Now let's start with our course. Okay, in chapter 1 of our course, we're going to talk about phonetics in general. We'll define phonetics, we'll learn the branches of phonetics, and then we'll learn something about the organs of speech, which are the organs that associated with the production of English speech or sounds in general. So, the main aim of this book is to study the nature and structure of sounds and how they change in a language. Okay? Also, the concentration or focus of this book is going to be about connected speech. So, why connected speech? Because learning, as we all know, learning how to pronounce English correctly and properly is the first step towards mastering English as a foreign or second language. So we should concentrate on connected speech, where we put sounds into syllables, syllables into words, words into sentences, and sentences into conversation or speech. Also, the variety of English that we're going to focus on is the BBC pronunciation, or it was called in the past the RP, which is received pronunciation. Well, this is the most recommended English or British English accent for learners of English. It is also the accent that is used by most newsreaders and announcers on BBC. And it is also the accent that is used by most English teachers to teach English. So yeah, it's going to be the focus of our discussion in this book. So now, what is language? Well, Henry Sweet defines language as the expression of thought by means of speech sound. So language is an organization of sounds and of vocal symbols, and those sounds are produced from the mouth to convey some meaningful messages. It's also a systematic verbal symbolism. It uses verbal elements like sounds, words, and phrases to produce or make sentences. Language is also vocal because it's consisted of sounds, and these sounds are produced by the organs of speech. So now, speech is primary to writing. How or what do we mean by this? Well, as you know, speech is spoken and heard, while writing is written and read. Well, as for speech, it goes back to human beginnings, perhaps a million years ago, while writing is relatively recent. Also, people everywhere learn to speak in the first 2 years of their life, while learning to write builds on the ability to speak. Also, there are a lot of or several languages in the world which have no written systems, yet they are languages because they are spoken. Now, let's discuss something about speech or pronunciation and writing or spelling. Well, the first thing you need to know is that speech is sounds while writing is letters. So we shouldn't mix this up, okay? Also, there is no one-to-one correspondence between letters and sounds in languages, and especially in the English language. An example of this is the letter A, as you can see. The letter A has different sounds in these words. Please notice how the letter is pronounced in these different ways. The first one, cat, ah. The second one, father, ah. The third, walk, oh. And the fourth one, about, ah. In the same way, sometimes one sound can be represented by more than one letter. For example, the spelling of the following words is different, while the second sound in all of these words is the same. Please listen. Sun, sun, country, and does. So the second sound in each of these words is a, while the spelling for each of these words is different. Another example, sometimes the letters OO are represented using the sound A in a word like, for example, blood. So we don't say blood, it's blood. But the same two letters can be represented with the sound oo in a word like spoon. Now, the discrepancy that we've just discussed between spelling and pronunciation in English irritated the playwright Bernard Shaw. Well, Bernard Shaw was sarcastic about the irregularities of English spelling, and he said that the word fish could have been spelt as GHOT because the first sound is represented by GH in words like enough. So in this word, the GH at the end of the word is pronounced fa. And also he says that the second sound is represented by O in words like women, women. So the second sound, E. And also the last sound is represented by letters TI in words like nation, nation, sha. So he says that the word fish could have been spelled as GHOT according to these sequences of letters in words like enough, women, and nation. For this reason, phoneticians use symbols to represent sounds in a more scientific way. And this is, of course, very useful and helpful for English learners to learn the correct pronunciation of English words. Now, let's talk about speech activity. Well, every speech activity has two ends and three dimensions. The two ends are the producing end, which is the speaker, and the receiving end, which is the listener. And the three dimensions include the articulatory side, which is concerned with the producer or the speaker, and the auditory side, which is concerned with the receiver or the listener, and the acoustic side, which is concerned with the physical shape of the varying air pressures produced while speaking. And in our phonetic description, we must take into account and pay full attention to these two ends and these three levels or dimensions. Okay? So now, what is phonetics? Well, phonetics is the scientific study of the medium of spoken language. That is, it's the study of the production, transmission, and reception of speech sounds. It also studies the articulation, description, classification, production, and perception of speech sounds. And it also studies these speech sounds from three different and independent viewpoints. The first viewpoint is speech organs. These are the organs of speech that participate in producing the sounds of the language. These organs include the lungs, the larynx, the tongue, and other organs we're going to discuss next class. The second viewpoint is waves, and here we study the physical shape through which the sounds are transmitted through the air from one speaker to another. And the third viewpoint is perception, and here we study how human beings perceive the sounds that they receive from other people through the ear. Phonetics also studies the features and characteristics of all human vocal noise, but with focus or concentration on the sounds that occur in the languages of the world. Also, phoneticians study how the different organs of speech function or participate in the production of speech sounds. Now, lots of linguists and phoneticians consider phonetics to be an independent discipline, and this is because phonetics has developed into so many different branches in the present day, and now it's big and mature enough to claim an independent status. And many linguists have already talked about linguistic sciences, and by this they mean phonetics and linguistics. And in the present day, lots of electronic devices are developed by communications engineering for this science or for phonetics. And these electronic devices include spectrographs, oscillograph, sound monitoring machines, and tape recorders. And they are very helpful and useful in the study of speech nowadays. It's also good to mention here that the study of phonetics nowadays doesn't focus on providing a notation, but it focuses on analyzing speech into its basic units. And by notation, we mean the symbols that we use to write the English sounds. So phonetic description is primary, while notation is secondary. So we focus first on analyzing the speech into its basic units, and then we can describe this speech in some ways using the notation. Okay, now I want you to have a look at this chart, please. It's called the phonemic chart of English sounds. And as you can see, it's divided into two parts. This part in yellow is for consonant sounds, and this part in gray is for vowel sounds. So these are all the English sounds and how they are pronounced. The first thing I want you to know is that later during the course you will be able to pronounce each of these sounds properly and correctly. But I just wanted to go over these sounds now just for you to get an idea and prepare you on how to pronounce them. Okay, let's go over these sounds starting from here. Okay, this sound is ma, as in man, na, now, ng, sing, ha, hat, la, love, ra, red, wa, wet, ya, yes, ja, television, sha, shall, za, zoo, sa, see, the, this, fa, think, va, video, fa, fly, pa, pea, ba, boat, ta, tea, da, dog, cha, cheese, ja, June, ka, car, ga, go. Okay, finished with the consonant sounds. Now let's see the vowels. So as you can see, the vowels are also divided into two different groups. The first one is monophthongs and the second one is diphthongs. And also during the course you will learn what we mean by each of these terms. Okay, so let's start here. So the first vowel sound is a, cat, a, up, a, fa, on, a, bed, a, teacher, a, bird, o, door, e, sheep, I, ship, good, shoot. Now finished with the monophthongs. Now let's see the diphthongs. Let's start here. Okay, it's also the word here. Ear, here. A, wait. O, tourist. Oi, boy. O, show. Hair, hair. Hair. I, my. Ow, cow. Again, diphthongs. Ear, here. A, wait. O, tourist. Oi, boy. O, show. Hair. I, my. And ow, cow. Okay, I hope they are clear now, and you've managed to catch how each of them is pronounced. But even if you can't catch how they are pronounced, don't worry, because later you will get the chance to practice pronouncing these English sounds more, inshallah. So now let's talk about the branches of phonetics, and this is the last part of our lecture for today. Okay, so in phonetics, we have three main branches. The first one, articulatory phonetics, the second, acoustic phonetics, and the third one is auditory phonetics. Now, what we mean by each one of them? Well, to start with, the articulatory phonetics is the study of the movement of speech organs in the articulation of speech. Now, speech is produced by the movement of the speech organs, which include the lungs, the larynx, the tongue, the teeth, and the lips. And we said that later we'll study these speech organs in details. The knowledge of these organs of speech and their relation to each other, also knowing the way in which they are used in speaking, provides a basis for the classification of human speech sounds. Okay, knowing how these speech function together help us describe speech sounds. Now, the second one is acoustic phonetics, which is the study of the physical properties of speech sounds and how they move through the air. Acoustic phonetics also examines the physical nature of speech sounds and analyze the speech waves with the help of some instruments or electronic devices. And for this, acoustic phonetics is also called instrumental phonetics or experimental phonetics. And the last one, which is auditory phonetics, this branch of phonetics also examines and studies how speech sounds are heard and perceived by the listener. It studies different speech features like pitch and loudness of speech, as well as stress and intonation. In this book and during our course, we're not going to go into the details of acoustic and auditory phonetics, and instead we're going to study articulatory phonetics in details, inshallah. Well, this is the end of our lecture today. I hope everything is clear, and if you have any questions, please write them down, and we'll discuss them later in our Zoom class on Sunday, inshallah. See you then, and have a nice day.